Sarah found herself consumed by the bleak findings of the decline of human empathy in the Age of Anger report, feeling the world was now BANI, brittle, anxious, nonlinear, and incomprehensible. This suffocating helplessness was a constant companion at One evening, news of a local community garden facing closure due to lack of funding struck a familiar pang of helplessness. Sarah imagined the frustration of the gardeners, their hard work withering. The next day, driving to the garden, she saw elderly volunteers and a young boy watering sunflowers. She learned the city funding was gone, and the garden, a sanctuary, would be lost. Something shifted within Sarah. An expert programmer, she realized she could help. "How much do you need?" she asked, offering to create a website and crowdfunding campaign. Over the next few weeks, Sarah and the gardeners worked tirelessly, sharing stories of the garden's impact, providing fresh vegetables to a soup kitchen, beginning new friendships. Sarah had felt so isolated online, found real connection with the people and their shared purpose. Then, something remarkable happened. Their story resonated and donations began to pour in. People who had never visited the garden offered support, and local businesses contributed. They reached the goal. Standing in the garden on the day the funding was secured, Sarah watched the young boy hand her a sunflower. The sense of BANI that had defined her world was gone. The world wasn't brittle, it was resilient. Her anxiety was replaced by a quiet sense of purpose. The future wasn't incomprehensible. It was being built right there by people like her. She realized her place wasn't on the sidelines, but in the heart of a community rediscovering that empathy and human connection are the most powerful forces of all. Hello, it's a pleasure to speak about my favorite topic, the biological power of story. The brain's chemistry influences our behavior, and this story is a perfect example of a narrative designed to change our biology. It's a masterful use of what I call the cortisol-oxytocin plot arc. The cortisol spike, the story's hook. A great story first creates a state of tension and grabs your attention. It puts your brain on alert. In this narrative, that happens right away. The story begins with bleak findings from a well-known report and the Age of Anger. These abstract global threats create an immediate sense of unease. For your brain, it's a warning of danger, a problem to be solved. The use of the acronym BANI, brittle, anxious, nonlinear, incomprehensible, gives that anxiety a name and a tangible shape. It mirrors feelings listeners may already have, activating the threat response system in their brain. This releases the stress hormone cortisol, which narrows their focus and makes them hyper-attentive to the unfolding problem. The oxytocin rush, the emotional payoff. Once the audience's attention is locked in by cortisol, the story introduces a release valve. The narrative shifts from a global, abstract problem to a local human one. The moment Sarah notices a tangible problem, the struggling community garden, the brain is primed for a positive social connection. The story's focus shifts from the abstract decline of empathy to the sight of worried elderly faces and a focused young boy. The pivotal moment is when Sarah asks, "How much do you need?" This is the ultimate pro-social signal. It's an act of pure trust and altruism. This moment, along with her collaboration with the gardeners, triggers a significant release of oxytocin, the moral molecule that makes us feel empathy, care, and connection. The crowdfunding success and the final image of the young boy handing Sarah a sunflower act as a powerful climax. These are the emotional high points of the story. The brain processes this as a victory for human connection. The oxytocin floods the system, washing away the initial cortisol-induced tension and leaving a sense of warmth, purpose, and relief. In short, the story works because it first creates a problem your brain is driven to solve, cortisol, and then provides a human-centered solution that elicits feelings of trust, connection, and joy, oxytocin. This narrative arc is a fundamental tool for changing our biology and reminding us of our shared humanity.